Hillary Clinton, her first Sunday interview as secretary.
How did President Obama convince you to come on his team?
Well, you know, George, I never had any dream, let alone inkling, that I would end up in President Obama's cabinet. After the election, I started seeing little, tidbits in the press. I thought it was absurd. Then when he called and asked me to come see him, and we had our first conversation, I said, I really don't think I'm the person to do this. I want to go back to my life. I really feel like I owe it to the people of New York. But he was quite persistent and very persuasive. And, ultimately it came down to my feeling that, number one, when your president asks you to do something for your country, you really need a good reason not to do it. And finally, I looked around our world and I thought, we are in just so many deep holes that everybody better grab a shovel and start digging out.
How does he respond to those who say he has been on an apology tour, going around the world apologizing for the United States' actions in the past?
They didn't pay attention to this speech or any of the speeches that he's making, because embedded in this speech was a very strong explication of who we are and what we're all about our values as a country and our history as a country.
The question you raised in that famous 3 a.m. ad, has the president answered it for you?
Absolutely. Strong, thoughtful, decisive. I think he's doing a terrific job, and it's an honor to serve with him.
Judge Sonia Sotomayor.
Judge Sotomayor's story and her record is really a triumph. It's really a great American story.
So the criticism of her being a racist, or even a reverse racist, unfair?
Well, I was gratified that Speaker Gingrich withdrew that comment. I think it was an unfortunate comment.
Sonia Sotomayor, and what you said about her, you rescinded.
Well, I reframed it. When I did a Twitter about her, having read what she said, I said that was racist, but I applied it to her as a person. The truth is, I don't know her as a person. It's clear that what she said was racist, and it's clear, or as somebody wrote recently, racialist, if you prefer, and it's clear that she didn't just say it once. And I think one of the challenges for the administration is, having first chided me for language, then having said she didn't mean it, then having said she ought to restate it. Now they face the fact that she has said this, written about it, 4 or 5 times.
Was the president aware of the time she used similar language, though, when he said it was a poor choice of words?
I don't know whether the president was aware or not, but he certainly is now. I don't think it's changed his view. I think this is a kind of a sideshow. The fact is that there's nothing in her record that reflects anything but fairness and fidelity to the law. And I think that's what we want in a U.S. Supreme Court justice.
Well, if you say people of this ethnic background are superior to people of this ethnic background, just take out her language and put in the word white.
Right.
Put in white male, where she had Latina, and that person would frankly be disqualified from the court.
Do you think this disqualifies it?
I think that it's very doubtful, because I think she was a good prosecutor. I think she was an acceptable district court judge. But remember, but lower levels, judges aren't in a position to live out whatever their prejudices are, because they're bound by the Supreme Court. If she's one of 9 people with a lifetime appointment, I'm not very comfortable having somebody at that level with that level of power as a Supreme Court judge.
Do you see any circumstances in which the Republicans might filibuster your nominee, and what would the president's reaction be if they say, we're doing this, sir, because you did it?
The question isn't whether it could be done, it's whether it should be done. Based on her record, it plainly should not. What I hear Senator McConnell saying is that for political retribution, that there might be a filibuster, and that would be a shame. I don't think Americans have much of an appetite for that. Look at her record, make a judgment on her record. Her record is outstanding. She's a great American story. She's someone everyone can be proud of and everyone can have faith in. They ought to confirm her.
Let's talk about the future of the Republican Party a little bit. Who's the most real Republican? You, Dick Cheney, Sarah Palin, Colin Powell, Rush Limbaugh?
Oh, all of us are.
Is there room for moderates in the Republican Party?
Yes, I'm a Reagan Republican. Reagan believed in a very broad base. Reagan.